It's been a few weeks now since the major balance update we got in Helldivers 2. We got weapon changes in the form of buffs as well as balancing to help the overall experience of the game. One of these changes that caught my eye was made to the Punsher Plasma, and not only how much damage it deals, but how it deals it. I recently tested these changes and I was pleasantly surprised. I can definitely see a difference, especially with how the explosion from the shrapnel now works.
Alright,
It's
I can see that we decreased the damage to 0.
yes, we did. We did.
How does that work?
We did decrease the damage to 0 on it, but
Okay.
that's only the projectile damage. Because it has the proximity trigger, the projectile damage never is applied. And
Right, so it blows up before it actually hits anything.
Exactly. So we took away the projectile damage because it's never applied, and we increased the explosion damage instead.
So it does more damage. Better than 0.
Yes, we buffed up the explosion damage, not exactly the same amount as the projectile damage, but the explosion damage has higher AP and affects a larger area, and yeah, usually explosions does more damage in general. So
it went from 150 to 225.
Explosion damage.
Yeah, and that's the effective damage. It would also have gone up.
yes,
When they look in the menu, it would have gone from like 250 to 225.
yes,
But you actually get
more damage.
50% more damage.
When diving against the Illuminate, I noticed right away the difference. I feel like before it was good against the grunts or smaller enemies, but now against the overseers and even flesh mobs, it dealt substantial damage to where I felt the gun was a lot more powerful. Heck, it even does some damage against the harvesters I saw.
New mag!
Paired with machine gun and ultimatum, I felt it was able to hold its own in most situations, and never makes you feel overwhelmed. One thing I wish it could do that it still doesn't is take out docked warp ships. If it matched the Eruptor's ability here, this would be an easy S tier for me. So for the squids, I'm putting it in A tier.
Mag's empty!
When going to the bug front, the Punsher Plasma is still really good, but the sheer speed of the bugs makes it not the most ideal weapon to use, and makes you way more dependent on the siege-ready armors in order to get more ammunition.
New mag! Have a taste of democracy!
It still does well with crowd control, with the shrapnel explosions and with the damage buff, you can see a difference, but with the bugs having more heavy enemies such as the Bile Titan and Chargers, the Punsher Plasma makes you rely more on heavy or anti-tank weapons. This, combined with its potential ammo economy issues, makes it just average in my opinion against the bugs.
Out of ammo!
I won't put it in the C tier as I feel that's a little harsh, so I'll give it a low B against the bugs.
Say hello to democracy!
So the Automatons are kind of in the middle here. The Punsher Plasma does well against most enemies here, and with the damage buff, it takes 1 to 2 shots for the grunts, and 3 to 4 max I would say for the Devastators, along with the ones that have the rockets. It doesn't do much against the bigger enemies such as the Hulks or Warstriders, but with the Automatons being a little slower than the bugs, you have time to switch over and use the heavy anti-tank weapon, so you can take those out easily. The shrapnel explosiveness does well again with crowd control. Ammo capacity was still a bit of an issue, but not as bad as I saw on the bug front. Overall, not as good as we saw against the Illuminate, but not as bad as the Terminds. So for that, I'm giving it a high B against the bots, as it's not quite A tier for me. All in all, the Punsher Plasma is one of those weapons that benefited greatly from the recent balance patch. The damage buff, along with how the shrapnel explosion now works and spreads, makes it much more usable in my opinion. It's a gun that's fun to use, and will definitely be one I use much more on the Illuminate front. But what do you guys think? Have you tried the Punsher Plasma lately since the buff, and do you see the difference? And if so, are you using it way more than you used to? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and consider subscribing if you are new to the channel. We do update and guide videos just like this one, along with cinematic edits where I sync gameplay to classic rock hits to match the vibe and chaos that is Helldivers 2. That's all for now for y'all. Thank you so much. Take care. Until next time, and peace.